Hey Canucks fans, does Tanner Pearson have an outside shot of starting the season on the second line? I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, September the 15th. If you're new, this is what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. As always, this vlog is brought to you by Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Click on the link below in my description and sign up for a free 7-day trial. We're 1 month away from my 24-hour live stream. I can't wait, but I got 1 month to mentally and physically and spiritually and emotionally prepare for it. But yeah, it's going to be, like I said, either the greatest thing ever or the dumbest thing ever. So 1 month from today on October 15th. And speaking of live streams, tonight, Wednesday night, yes, I'm back to 2 live streams a week. So 10 p.m. tonight. I hope you join me right here on my YouTube channel for my semi-weekly live stream. Let's talk about Tanner Pearson. Yesterday, I talked about how Brock Boeser might be the most underappreciated player on the Vancouver Canucks. I'm going to talk about someone who's even maybe more underappreciated, or at least relatively underappreciated, and that is Tanner Pearson. Now, I get it. I get that there's more flashier and more exciting guys to talk about, i.e. Pettersson contract, Hughes contract, Brock Boeser, Thatcher Demko, JT Miller, Bo Horvat, Niels Höglander, Vasily Podkolzin, Jack Rathbone. So you could probably get to 9 or 10 or 11 guys, Connor Garland, 9 or 10 guys before you even get to Tanner Pearson's name. And I guess that's kind of a microcosm of his career. He's never been the star, even on that 70s line in LA. I think Carter and Toffoli got more of the play than, say, Tanner Pearson did. He's always been a supplementary, a secondary, complementary player as opposed to having to be the man. And that suits him just fine. So I want to talk about why Tanner Pearson may have an outside shot at starting the season on the second line, and then probably talk about why it likely won't happen. Maybe they'll kind of go together as I talk these points out. But Tanner Pearson just turned 29 years old last month and recently signed, I think it was a 3-year deal with the Canucks for $3.25 million a year. I don't know if it's 3 or 4. I think it's 3 because, 2 or 3. All I know is it's $3.25 million a year. I'm pretty sure it's 3, but if I'm 2, I apologize for my mistake. $3.25 million. Some people thought that was a little bit too much, especially before you had signed Pettersson and Hughes and others in the offseason. Others said, I know why they did it. Travis Green loves the guy. He can play in all situations, even strength, power play, penalty kill, low maintenance, good on defense, good on protecting the lead, never takes a shift off, never cheats, solid two-way player. So and a veteran. I get why you want all those things. So I'm not worried too much about justifying his contract in this particular video. But I do want to talk about what his role might be. So 29 years old. So that's kind of scared people a little bit because he's already going to be 30 for the last 2 years of his contract. And basically 2 seasons and a little bit with the Canucks. He played 19 games and then 2 full in the first season after getting traded here, and then 2 full seasons after that. He's actually played really well. He has 75 points in 139 games. 75 and 139. That's a points per game of .54, which is pretty good. That's what you want your second line players to have, a .5 points per game or higher, basically 40 points a year. And Tanner Pearson did that. He had 45 points, not just last season, 2 seasons ago, in the 69 game season. He had 45 points in 69 games, which is his career high. Actually, his career high was 44 points in a full 82 games with LA. So he had 45 in 69, which is really, really good for 2 seasons ago. So we know that he can produce offensively. We know that he's got a pretty good release. He's a big, wide guy, kind of like how I look when I put on the pads and play roller hockey. He's a little bit more skilled than I am, but he's not afraid to go to the net, front of the net. He's not afraid to get his nose dirty. He's not afraid to take that cross check to make the play. So you love all those things about him. And like I said, very good defensively as well. Very responsible. Remember the joke of it was always him, Horvat, and Eriksson out there protecting the lead, so padding their stats with empty net goals, I think, and things like that. But Travis Green obviously trusts him. Can be a penalty killer too, either on the second or third penalty kill unit, because he actually had 3 shorthanded points 2 seasons ago as well in that really good season. So that's kind of all the good stuff about Tanner Pearson. Not the fastest skater ever, for sure, but really I'd say that's only his downfall in his contract. But like I said, we're not going to talk about the contract too much. Now, I bring this up today because I think everyone's talking about, oh, you got the lotto line. I don't know if they grunt like I did, but they go, oh, you got the lotto line of Miller, Pettersson, and Besser. And then likely, good, Bo Horvat gets to play with a guy like Connor Garland finally. And then either Hoglander or Podkolzin, depending on what happens in the training camp and exhibition season. So that's not a disrespect to Tanner Pearson, but I think people are already jumping to the conclusion that means, oh, it must be, I've done this too. Pearson will be on the third line with Jason Dickinson and one of Hoglander or Podkolzin. That's going to be a great shutdown line, which I agree. That right, given all Pearson's strong defensive attributes, that's going to be a great shutdown line for sure. But what happens if Travis Green says, no, I really like the Bo Horvat, Tanner Pearson combination. I want those guys to play together on the second line to start the season because they know one another, they trust one another, and that's one unit I don't have to worry about. I could see that happening, but then who do you put on the right wing? Garland? So would it be Horvat, Pearson, and Garland? That sounds fine to me. But then are you going to have two rookies on your third line with Dickinson? Well, not two rookies. Hoglander, a sophomore, and then Podkolzin, a rookie. Would you ever go Dickinson, Hoglander, and Podkolzin? I highly doubt it. So I don't think you can put Garland on that second line if Horvat and Pearson are there, even though Garland has second line, even top line talent. But then if you say reunite that line from last year, you put Hoglander up there. Do you want Garland on your third line? Dickinson, Garland, and Podkolzin, so you can have Horvat, Pearson, and Hoglander? I don't know. I think you got to get more minutes to Garland because he's that good. So there's that issue as well. So I think that's the tricky thing is if you want to put Pearson on the second line, you got to think of, well, who's going to be the right winger on that line? And if it's Garland, then now you have a sophomore and a rookie on the third line. And if it's one of Hoglander or Podkolzin, now you have Garland on the third line. So that's why I still think it's a safe bet to think that Pearson starts on the third line. However, late in a game where Travis Green, maybe if he's protecting a lead and he wants to drop down to three lines, I could see him keeping the lotto line together. I could see him reuniting Horvat, Pearson, and then put a Garland, on their wing. And then maybe the third line, or at least Podkolzin and Hoglander might not play a lot in the closing minutes. And then I could see a third line of like a Dickinson, Sutter, and Mott, right? So I think that could happen. Protecting a lead in the third period where the coach shortens his bench, especially the Canucks are up, and he wants to focus on defense, maybe Hoglander and Podkolzin don't play as much, and then you have Pearson reunited with Horvat. So I could see that happening. I could also see if you wanted to, not only from a matchup perspective, but let's say you want to spread out the depth of the three lines. For instance, if you bring Miller down to third line center for whatever reason, now that opens up a wing spot. So that means Pearson, Garland, they could get bumped up. So you could see, if Miller comes down the third line, you could see Garland play with Besser and Petey, and then Pearson play with Horvat and Hoglander, Podkolzin, for instance, and then Miller, Dickinson, and then one of Podkolzin or Hoglander, or Dickinson can play higher up, whatever it may be. So I can see instances, my point is I can see instances where Tanner Pearson will play with Bo Horvat, either for a different look or more likely protecting a lead. I can totally see Travis Green going to that near the end of games, but I don't see Pearson starting on the second line because of those matchup decisions that you'd have to make. So all to say, I still think Tanner Pearson starts on the third line, but he could be a dark horse candidate, as I say in my thumbnail and in my title. He could be a dark horse candidate to get some minutes on the second line. It just might not be at the start of the season. It just might not be at the start even of a game. Canucks fans, let me know what you think. I think I'm onto something here, but I would love to know your thoughts down below. So let me know in the comments below. Where does Tanner Pearson start the season? And how would you feel if he indeed got some minutes with Horvat, either to start games or, like I said, to end the games? Let me know what you think about Pearson and what his contributions may be. Shout out to my hero members, nucksfan number 29, Justin Credible, Lucas Gates, and Andrew Chang, and to Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, and Shannon Hollingworth. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Leave a comment below. Tanner Pearson, your thoughts. See you tonight for my live stream at 10 p.m. Can't wait to chat Vancouver Canucks with you. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member of this channel if you'd like to. Leave a comment if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless. and go Canucks go.